Hello, beautiful people. My name is Noa Lakshmi, and I'm here to elevate humanity for a better world. One by one, we are doing it. And I love using the cosmos, the ancient wisdom of our cosmos and our planets, what we call astrology, to help us navigate through our own individual lives and through the collective reality, and especially during these amazing, profound times of so much transformation, shifts where we are co-creating a new world, a new reality for us and for generations to come, which is us as well. And before I jump into this week's update, I like to introduce my work as well, my personal work into the world. And if you are interested in doing personal one-on-one work with me, go to my website, noalakshmi.com, and you'll find more information there. I do transformational work with people, help you to go from point A to point B, addressing physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual components, all of those components that make you you. And especially if you are on the verge of opening and stepping into a new reality, stepping into a new you, stepping a new life, then I would love to talk to you and see how I can be of service to you, how can I help you and support you with the work that I do. And also, if you're interested in a personal astrology reading, I do that as well. And I combine the astrology with the transformational work that I do. And you can find all the information on my website, noalakshmi.com. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for watching this. I'm going to dive in, and we are, things are settling down a little bit after last week of so many things that shifted, and from the end of September into the beginning of October with the equinox and Mercury going direct and coming out of eclipses, and the Sun and Jupiter coming together, and Pluto going direct, and there's just like so much that took place last week. And I know from me, and I always speak from my experience, obviously, but I know from the conversations with people and clients that you can feel the shift of energy that has taken place, the intensity of September and the eclipses, and everything that got stirred up. And you know what happens, like if you take a glass of water and you just stir it up, right? Let's say there's whatever in the water. You've got some dirt in the water, and you just stir it, and all the dirt comes up to the surface, and then you just let the glass just sit there, and everything settles back down to the bottom of the cup. That's kind of like the energy that is happening right now, of everything that got stirred up, what feels like an internal hurricane or a tsunami, and then there's just like, oh, okay, all the dirt is settling back down to the bottom of the glass, which is a really great thing, because it's a time where you can get more clarity. It's quite difficult or merely impossible to have clarity when you are in the midst of chaos or in the middle of a storm. You don't stay in the middle of a storm and like try to find answers. It's like, gotta do what I gotta do to survive kind of thing, right? So now we're coming into a place of more settled energy. It's also a great time to maybe weigh things in your life, look at things, get more clarity. And this is what I want to get into, because we are always shifting gears. Every month or so, there's a shift of gears when it comes to going into a new sign cycle. So now we're in the Libra cycle. The Sun is in Libra. Jupiter is in the sign of Libra, which of course is going to be in the sign of Libra for the next 12 months. And then we've got Mercury, hooray, and this is one of the big things that are happening this week. Mercury is going to move into Libra as well. And Mercury was in retrograde, and I think tomorrow is when it comes, today is Wednesday, so tomorrow, Thursday, October 6th, I think is when Mercury comes out of his shadow, meaning the period that he spent in the retrograde zone is coming out of that zone. And then on the 7th, which is Friday, Mercury is going to go into the sign of Libra. So we adding another planet that goes into the sign of Libra. Mercury is our mind, is our intellect, it's our perceptions. It can also be like our decision-making process, the more linear way of decision-making, because there's a perception perhaps that we have, there's information that comes our way, and then we are able to make a decision. And that's all Mercury ruled. It's also communication and what we express and what we say to other people and how we speak. That's all Mercury. And Mercury is going to go into Libra as well, where the sun is right now. And we are looking at this Libra cycle with a square. It's a certain alignment that happens in the sky that is not necessarily the easiest. There's some tension element with a square. You can just imagine this like 90-degree kind of pull where Libra and Capricorn are involved. And those are vastly different than one another. Just look at the element itself, that Capricorn is earth, Libra is air. That to begin with is very different. The Libra energy is a lot more mental also. Capricorn is more like the earth in the body. But the biggest thing that I want to emphasize with the Libra-Capricorn square and the difference between the two is Capricorn is so, it's about determination. It can be like goal-oriented. It's everything to do with our achievements. It's the goat climbing up the mountain. I always like to say it, and it's good to have that visual because you see those goats, they just go. They just go. They don't look back. They don't really care if rocks are falling, whatever is going on, they're climbing and they're going to do whatever it takes to get to that top of the mountain. And that's kind of like the Capricorn energy, which is really, really beneficial when we have a goal, when we want to achieve something. It's important to have that Capricorn focus, determination, also patience and resilience. That's all amazing qualities of Capricorn. And with everything, there's light and dark. It's not bad or good. It's just a matter of there's different expressions to a certain energy, to a certain archetype. And what I just described when it comes to Capricorn, that's more of like the highest expression of Capricorn. Those are elements that we all need and can use in our lives, especially when things are moving forward, especially when you want to create something. Anything to do with your professional life and your career, that's all Capricorn ruled and based. So we need that focus, we need that determination, we need the ability to make decisions that are not based on emotions sometimes, that it has to be like this cut and dry kind of thing because I see where I'm going and that's what I need to do. Now, the thing with Libra, quite the opposite. Libra is ruled by Venus, and that's all about love and harmony and beauty and relationships. It's also balance. And the square, the tension that can happen there, and maybe you feel it in your life where there is, and we have Mars in Capricorn, which is this is a huge point here, and the square that is happening specifically with planets. Today it's exact when Mars is in Capricorn, and Mars is also, it's the warrior, right? It's our masculine energy. It's like go, do, action oriented, which can spill. With Mars being in Capricorn, it can spill into overly doing, overly being determined, overly committing yourself, pushing yourself too much, where you just disregard your body, you disregard your feelings, you disregard what it is that you actually need, and it's just like, no, I've got a goal and I've got to go for it. And that's like the Mars and Capricorn energy. And then we have the square to Libra with Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter is not necessarily about hard work. Jupiter doesn't like to work, and especially in Libra, it's like, let's just party, let's just have fun, let's just chill, let's just connect, let's find the next relationship, the next person to connect with. Let's have a glass of wine, let's just enjoy the beauty of life, let's enjoy the beauty of one another, let's enjoy the beauty of human connections. And which is a beautiful thing, right? So again, there's always a certain expression to a planet and a sign. It's not good or bad. It's a beautiful thing, and the square that is happening is it can be very, very tight to find the balance between the two. And especially if you're at a point in your life where there are some goals, there are some things that you're moving forward with, and you can be in that place of, God, I've got to achieve it, I've got to go for it, I've got to just go. And then, but what's happening to your relationships? What's happening to your relationship with yourself? Okay, before we even talk about other people, are you really paying attention to your body? Are you paying attention to what your body is telling you? Because that's the first relationship that you want to pay attention to and take care of, is yourself and your body. So are you listening? Or are you just too occupied running forward and climbing the mountain, and then looking at what's going on in your relationships in your life? Are you paying attention to people that are close to you? Are you cultivating those connections? What about enjoying the beauty of life? And it doesn't need to be either or, and that's what the universe is really trying to teach us. And with Libra energy, and especially with Jupiter in Libra, it's all about balance. And I talked about it last week, that we will be forced in a way, but just being invited by the universe to find more balance. And how do we find more balance? Sometimes we need to go to the extremes. I want to invite you, though, that's what astrology is so great, is like, pay attention. You don't have to go to the extreme to find the balance. You could, after all, it's your choice and free will. But do you have to injure yourself? Do you have to really be forced by life to slow down and enjoy the beauty of life? Enjoy the beauty of your relationship. Enjoy harmony and peace. And to realize that it doesn't have to be either or. You can be goal-oriented and keep your eyes on the prize and achieve and go after what it is that you want in life. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to sacrifice your peace and harmony and sense of internal balance. And that's one of the biggest message that I have for you today, that if we are looking, because it is a time where we feel like we want to achieve goals, or maybe there's old goals that you are really pursuing right now and going forward and finding a new energy, and maybe there's some new goals that are entering your sphere, that are entering your reality. And I want to invite you to perhaps contemplate this idea. What if or just add to your list of goals, to have the goal of inner peace and harmony, and to have that the goal on top of the goal list. Yeah, that with everything that you are achieving, with everything that you're doing in your life and pursuing, what if the underlying of that is peace and harmony and balance? And that means that you've got to examine your life and examine your routine, which is, Pluto is in Capricorn, and Pluto is, let's look deep and examine the structures, Capricorn, of my life. So you can still be working on your computer, or still be doing your work, or whatever it is, and check in with yourself. Maybe after an hour of working, you can take a 5-minute break, or a 10-minute break, and go stretch outside, or do whatever it is that brings you back to balance and harmony. And if you find yourself that you are just creating in a place of stress and constriction, then that's a sign for you to, I'm out of balance, I'm out of harmony with myself, with the natural flow of life. And so you pause and you bring it back to balance, and that's the invitation. And I want you to be aware of that in your life, especially this week. And with Mercury going into Libra, there is an invitation of just start weighing things in your life. That's the Libra, the scales, and Mercury going into it, decision making, perceptions. Look at things in your life, weigh things in your life, and see what brings you out of balance and what helps you to come back to balance. And the weighing of things, of, again, realizing some things just have to be taken out of your life, and you have to bring new things into your life, because your goal is to be in a state of peace and harmony. So anything that doesn't match that, that's the time to look at things and weighing things and see what is in alignment with your state of balance, harmony, and peace. And I want to encourage you also to just be in that place. Like I said, the things are settling back down to the bottom of the glass. It's really time to kind of look at everything coming down to the bottom of the glass and not necessarily drink it, okay? With the square of Mars, Jupiter, and things might feel a little out of balance, and things for you to still look at and find your inner peace, your inner harmony, your inner balance, and set the goals that are aligned with that. And if you have decisions to make and maybe people coming into your life, relationships, opportunities, and whatnot, that, just look at everything for the next few days, for this next week. And you don't have to rush yourself into any decisions, again, that are from a place of maybe stress and fear. And I want to encourage you to allow yourself the time to relax and make decisions that are based on inner peace, harmony, and balance in whatever way it shows up in your life. So yes, that is my message to you. So much right now when it comes to our own harmony, beauty, and balance, because if we want to see that in the world, we've got to implement that within ourselves, within our lives. And there is a lot to juggle. There's jobs, there are relationships, there are our own self and our own health, and how to balance everything so we can create more harmony for ourselves, so we can create more harmony within our relationships. And then the world is going to change because of that. So I want to encourage you again, one of the biggest goals for you right now, this next few months, actually this next year, harmony, peace, and balance. And you tune into your own body, you tune into your own heart and your own truth, your own intuition. What are the things that put you in that state? And you find what works for you. So appreciate you. I'm sending you tons of love. Thank you for being who you are and everything that you do. If you would like to work with me, once again, check out my website, noalakshmi.com, for a personal reading or transformational work to upgrade your life and take you to the next level. If you like these videos, then please subscribe to my channel. I always appreciate the shares. Share the love, share the lights, share the message. Appreciate your support. You can always find me on Facebook. And I'm sending you tons and tons of love. Stay awesome, stay beautiful. I will see you next time. Sat Nam.